Ghost Rider, the birth of the Guardian of the Portals. Abigail was never an ordinary woman. Even as a child, she felt the darkness within her, something she could never fully understand. She wasn't like the others. She often felt lost, as if she had a greater purpose that she hadn't yet grasped. Her family didn't know how to deal with her, and the world around her seemed to make less and less sense. But Abigail always knew her true destiny was bigger than anything she could have ever imagined. It was a night that changed everything. Abigail was 23 when she could no longer escape the pain. Her life had become an endless cycle of despair and emptiness, and the shadow of darkness that had always accompanied her now seemed to consume everything. But at this point, there was no turning back. It was too late. The Ghost Rider, the unstoppable being of fire and vengeance, chose her as his new host. The blazing inferno that accompanied the Ghost Rider sought a soul strong enough to withstand and control it. And Abigail, with all her inner conflict and unyielding determination, was that soul. The moment the fire enveloped her, it wasn't a scream of pain, but a cry of will. Abigail had already made her decision. She wouldn't be ruled by the darkness. She would tame it. Her will was stronger than anything the fire could offer. She took control and became not just the Ghost Rider, but the Guardian of the Portals, a protector of the multiverse's balance. The first time Abigail swung her chain, she felt the weight of the responsibility on her shoulders. But she also felt the power. She felt the fire she controlled, not the other way around. She now understood what it meant to maintain the boundary between heaven and hell. The Ghost Rider was more than a flaming fury. He was the guardian of reality, walking between worlds. But it was Abigail who held the key. Her own will, her own determination. "You chose this, Abigail," the voice of the Ghost Rider whispered in her head. "You chose to carry my fire. But that means you will lose yourself. You will never be the same." "I'm ready," she replied, her voice firm and unwavering. "I won't lose myself. I'll find myself." It was the first step on her journey, and from that moment on, she knew. She was the only one who could save the multiverse. But the price she had to pay was immeasurable. The Ghost Rider demanded sacrifice. The power she possessed could only be gained through the loss of her own humanity. But Abigail had already decided what she would sacrifice. She placed her own life, her own soul, behind the needs of the worlds she was meant to protect. Because she knew she wasn't fighting for herself. She was fighting for the balance of the multiverse. And that meant she would never be the same. Abigail, now known as the new Ghost Rider, became the Guardian of the Portals. The task entrusted to her was of unimaginable scale. There were portals leading to other worlds, worlds so dangerous in their destructive power that even the Ghost Rider couldn't simply close them. But Abigail was different. Her will, her determination, and her ability to sacrifice herself made her the perfect protector. Her first mission was to maintain the multiversal balance. A rift in the universe had opened, and from it poured terrifying shadow creatures threatening to consume an entire world. Without hesitation, Abigail leapt through and found herself in a dystopian city, plagued by lightning and shadow creatures. She knew she couldn't just fight. She had to save the world without losing herself. She swung her chain, and the fire she commanded broke through the darkness. The shadow creatures turned to ash beneath her power, and the city was saved. "You've done it again," said the mysterious observer from the shadows. "But how long can you keep your will intact? How long can you sacrifice your own soul before you lose it completely?" Abigail didn't respond. She knew what she was doing. She had made her choice, and as long as she breathed, she would do whatever it took to protect the multiverse, no matter what it demanded of her, the Watcher observes. She is the Guardian of the Portals. Her determination, her will are the only reasons she can maintain control over the Ghost Rider's blazing inferno. But even I see how much she's losing herself. Her will is powerful, but it comes at a cost. I am the Watcher. I see all that happens. Yet even I can only watch as Abigail, the Ghost Rider, faces the true darkness. A new storm is on the horizon, and at its heart, the true test will begin. I will continue to watch, and perhaps one day, I will intervene, but not today.